as someone who's a guru of defensive line performance, is their defensive line, is it scheme? Is it the individual players that they're so productive? And
Well,
is there something?
yeah, Nate Orchard is one guy they're using in a lot of different ways. As an outside linebacker, sometimes a defensive end. I think from his athleticism that he has, Mark, he can cause you problems. And then I think, obviously, he's a playmaker for him, so they're putting him in some positions to make plays. I think up front, they've got a quickness to them, and that's something that, can give you some problems. They spike a 3 technique and do an A gap, which is a coach's nightmare, but, if you're quick enough, it can be effective.
Brady, have you guys heard about the Ty Isaac appeal at this point yet?
Yeah, it didn't go through. Yeah.
How's he handled all that? I mean, I assume he came here hoping to play, or maybe even expecting to some degree. How does he handle it?
He's handled it great. I'll tell you, he's our scout running back. One of the 2 guys who kind of fill in that role, and he had a great day yesterday. And I think from an attitude standpoint and everything else, he's been awesome.
So he'll have 3 years left starting next year, right? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Brady, Greg Madison compared Utah's offense to that of Indiana last year. Given the way that game played out, are you expecting another shootout on Saturday?
Well, we hope not. To be honest with you, they're a high tempo. They want to snap the ball quickly. They want to try and see if you're disorganized defensively. So when you look at that part of it, I think some of the same schematics. Very similar to Ohio, very similar to Indiana. So you see a lot of those things also. But, the tempo is a big part of it. We practice at a high tempo, and try and every day we do that. But you're trying to, mimic as much as you can, with our scout groups, the tempo that will be played with.
It looks like Derrick Green's vision has improved this year. I know a lot of that's innate for a running back, but how can you coach that, and how do you coach that in this program?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of it, guys have it or they don't have it. And I think part of his vision is the reps he's had, the tracks he's run. A running back has certain tracks that they're going to run and certain reads off those tracks. So I think the more he's had with that and the more reps that we've given him, I think he's done a better job with it. I also think, at the same time, offensively up front, there's a little more separation and we're getting a little more movement.
Coach, last night Brian Monet said when he first started working with you, he was scared of you. And now he says you're like a father figure. Can you talk about the relationship, because the amount of work you do with him?
He's a special kid. I mean, he is truly, a very Christian young man who he's a long way from home. And having Shoney here, I think, has been a big help. I think the way he built relationships with the guys playing nose tackle for us, Ryan Glasgow has done a tremendous job bringing Brian around. I think Maurice Hurst and Andre Pipkins. I think all those guys, they were a close-knit group.
Brady, if you are without functions on Saturday, can you kind of go through the pecking order of wide receivers and how, that not having him out there might affect each one? And
no, it's just, it depends what personnel group. We may play more tight ends. It just depends what we want to do.